back, had to pause it. Actually, it ended up being stopped. So I got a few little goodies. And the first thing I bought was the lanyard, this lanyard for this little beauty. It's called, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's called Sail and Sign Card. For those of you who have never been on a cruise ship before. It's cute. The only thing I don't like about it is it doesn't actually say dream on there. But this is my card. And basically, a few tips on that one is, number one, it is your credit card. It is your debit card. It is your cash card. So do not have this lying around anywhere. I read on Facebook yesterday in which a person had their card lying around, and a young woman decided, hey, let me have a little fun with it. So she grabbed the card and charged, get this, $180 worth of drinks on his card. And he told the authorities that he told the people on the ship that he did not authorize it. So Chicky Poo got booted off at the next port and sent home. And she is now blackballed from, or blacklisted from Carnival. So rule number one, don't leave this lying around. Guard it with your life as though you're guarding your firstborn child and your significant others. But at the same time, don't use somebody else's sail and sign card without their permission, or else you are booted from the ship and possibly from Carnival for the rest of your life. Excuse me, ma'am. So anyway, and by the way, since I was a first timer, I get a blue card. When I sail next time on any Carnival ship, I'll get a red card. Looking forward to that. Anyway, where was I? After I got that, I went straight to my room, and where my friend was already there, and I got settled in. About 30 minutes before you leave, there's a thing called a muster drill, and they will get you out of your cabins. In case you don't know what a muster drill, that's just it's equivalent to what the flight attendants do right before takeoff, which is to show you where the emergency exits are, where are you to go in case the ship decides or has problems and you must evacuate. So my muster drill was in E3, which also is known as the Scarlet Main Dining Room. This is where I also spent many mornings and a couple of my dinners there as well. But that is the place that you go in order to and learn what to do in case you have to evacuate. You're not required to carry your life jacket. We didn't carry ours, but they did note where life jackets are located. In an event of a real emergency, you are to leave all your stuff except for probably your personal items, but leave your bags, your luggage, that sort of thing. So if there's a real evacuation, nobody doesn't need to go grabbing their luggage and everything, because you're going to hold up the ship. That's just basically it. you're going to hold up the process. And the lifeboats do not accommodate luggage. Repeat, lifeboats do not accommodate luggage. So don't be thinking, but I got to carry my chartreuse dress with the double. No, 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 no. Take it from me. Don't. You're doing too much. Okay, next, after we got finished with the muster drill and they got finished explaining everything, we were free to roam the ship as we pleased. And, well, me and my friend, we went back to our stateroom to get acquainted with what's going on. And, by the way, another tip is to carry Lysol for your stateroom and spray that room down. With flu season, if you're getting ready to cruise, with flu season and everything else, it is a good idea to spray it down because you do not want to come home sick. A couple people from our group did come home and they were sick. So it's a good idea to do that. And I have a word for people who do not wash their hands prior to eating. I don't know what country you're coming from, but when you're around Patricia Lynn Logan, that's me, you are to use the Purell and use it like it's your third skin, fourth skin, first layer of skin. Because the reason why is because, again, the germ factor. And I used every Purell station I came close to. And like it was water. I used the public bathrooms quite a while. I mean, quite a bit, sorry. And I also did the thing where, you grab a little tissue and you put it on the handle and you turn the handle. I did that too. And by the way, if you hear a little bit of scraping, it looks like that the grounds people are clearing the sidewalk because it snowed for 2 nights. So anyway, let's see what else. I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Anyway, about 8 o'clock, there are 3 settings for dining. You have your 6 o'clock people, your 8:15 people, and do at your own pace people, which that's a little bit more flexible. You could eat between 5:45, I believe it's 5:45 and 9:45. Or 9:30. But my setting was 8:15. So, by the time 8:15 gets around, I'm starving. But I had to have a little something, so I did room service. And I will speak a little bit about room service later, because by the time you see this, room service would have changed a little bit, or it is changing as I'm speaking. Most of the items when I went, except for a few, were free. Meaning that when I say free, that means you've paid your way onto the ship and you can eat as much as you want to. And I'm going on 9 minutes on this, almost 9 minutes 30 seconds on this. But anyway, it's gonna get cut down, so I'm just talking away. So this video actually may be split into 2 parts, 2 or 3 parts, depending. Anyway, I was talking about the food. Okay, get it together, Patricia. As far as the food in the main dining room, it was very delicious, I must say. Uh, and I thought it was extra special because it was New Year's Eve. So let's see. I had lobster. I had I can't remember everything that I had on the menu, and I think no, I didn't put it on my iPad because I made some notes, but that's not one of the notes that I made. Anyway, anyway, I had the Maine lobster, very delicious. Had the little pot of butter, that sort of thing, and I had a couple other appetizers that was quite delicious. I had a disappointment though. In my face group, cruise groups, everybody's raving about this chocolate melting cake. And I'm a chocolate person. I love chocolate. I will eat double chocolate, triplet chocolate, all kinds of chocolate. This one did not hit home with me, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is, bittersweet chocolate is bitter in the first place. But when it's burnt, it's even worse. And I do like semi-sweet chocolate. I really do. But this cake did not hit home with me at all. And I'm just saying, a lot of people liked it. I saw in the groups that a lot of people liked it. And somebody told me, well, next time you go on a Carnival cruise ship, try it again. And because it is their signature dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and try it again. And maybe that one particular thing, and it comes in a little ramekin. So maybe that one particular ramekin stayed in the oven just a wee bit longer. But it didn't hit home with me. Afterwards, I went to bed. Day 2. Day 2 was a lot better. It was our first day at sea. The only thing I didn't like was the weather. We stayed mostly inside because when we arrived in New Orleans, it was bitter cold. It was cloudy. It was rainy. And the same thing went for being out on the deck the next day. It was cold. It was rainy. So me and my friend did not venture out there at all. In fact, we basically mostly roamed around the ship, stayed in the stateroom because when I go on a vacation, I want to go out and mingle, and I want to feel like I want to mingle, and I didn't feel like I wanted to mingle. So we stayed in the stateroom most of the time. We did go to dinner when we were supposed to, and that was about it. While I'm on the subject of staterooms, the stateroom we had was a double bed, two twin beds. The bathroom, we had a deluxe ocean view cabin, and it had a shower and a bathtub. I love bathtubs, so I had one bathroom, my friend had the other because she loves showers. So it worked out as far as the bathroom shower situation. I'm not going to explain much on day 2, and day 3 was virtually the same because we had 2 sea days back to back. And the third, all I can say is the third day, Serenity Deck. Away from the children, away from the families. This single girl was happy. I curled up with my book, which I'm going to have to give a review on that one in a separate video. That book is all over the place. But anyway, it was wonderful. And if I had saved enough money and everything, I would have gotten a massage that day. But I'll save the massages for next time. There's nothing much I can say except for we tried the Lido buffet at that particular time, and I was not impressed. Yes, it filled me up. Yes, it nourished my body for what it needed to, but it needed more grown type foods in there. This one, the buffet is really for people who have children. So I saw a lot of chicken fingers. I saw a lot of sandwich type stuff that kids go for. And this adult, eh, I haven't done the kid route. It would have been perfect if I had my niece and nephews with me. But since to me it was an all adult cruise, I expected more adult food. You get your more adult food in the main dining room. So the next day, that was Wednesday, was our first port, and it was Montego Bay, Jamaica. And I will go in more into detail about Jamaica, but my first impressions were beautiful, simply beautiful. Um, you can book your excursions through Carnival, and tip number one is to do that. We didn't do any of our excursions through Carnival because we wanted to see the islands, all three islands, which the other two were Grand Cayman and Cozumel. Excuse me. We wanted to see that in its natural state. We didn't want to see, oh, look at the beautiful touristy type things. Yeah, we wanted to see the reality of it, and our driver from Montego Bay showed us the reality of it. In fact, I will explain. As beautiful as Jamaica is, and the government makes it sound like that it's an inconvenience for a person to live there. And I'm gonna just say my opinions right here and right now. I applaud anybody who has a descendant still in Jamaica for moving here to the United States and making a living for themselves and that sort of thing. All Jamaica, these touring places make it sound like that tourism is their only export import, and it's not so. Where our driver took us, I saw nothing but completed buildings that looked run down and buildings that were not completed but still had inhabitants in there. And all I can say is that after Britain got gave Jamaica their independence in 1969, things kind of went down from there. And I hope I'm not offending some Jamaicans when I say this and everything, because I don't know. I live here in Ohio. I feel like that I live in a glass house when it comes down to actually seeing what really goes on in that country. But, things have got to be better in Jamaica. That's all I have to say. The people seem happy there. But there are a lot of squatters. There are a lot of people, investors who come in and invest for themselves, not for the people who are native of that country. So that's all I have to say about the country. So far, I did enjoy myself. I got a chance to sample the food. I had sweet and sour oxtails, very delicious. If anybody knows where I can exchange some Jamaican dollars back into US dollars, please let me know. But that's all I can say about it. It was a pleasant trip. and to that port and everything, had no problems. And I will address crime in a later video when you're touring. Uh, that night we went back to the Lido deck to eat, and there was one dish that I was not very impressed about, and it was some kind of mashed potato combination dressing that didn't look pleasing. But other than that, the rest of my food was fine. Went to bed, got up the next morning, and we docked at Grand Cayman. Very beautiful place. Equally as beautiful as Jamaica. One note. Just because you don't get seasick on the cruise ship, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get sick on the tender, and your girl got seasick on the tender. Because, and in case you don't know what a tender is, a tender, there are some places where a cruise ship will go ahead and dock, and for some reason the water is too shallow for the cruise ship to go up to the pier. So instead of trying to run the ship aground and that sort of thing, and they send little boats out to pick up the passengers and bring them to the pier. So this is where my afraid of heights kicked in big time. I was fine on the ship. I went all the way up to deck 12 and back down, not getting seasick, not getting scared because of height issues and that sort of thing. But getting on from the ship to the tender and back off again just didn't cut it for me for some reason. I got on okay until we got ready to get off, and we were on the top level, and I had to walk down the stairs. And I walked down a couple levels, and I started crying because I thought, oh my goodness, this boat is rocking, I'm gonna fall, this is not gonna look pretty, and that sort of thing. And the two gentlemen that helped me off was very sweet and very wonderful. My friend was understanding. It's just, made a pleasant way to just go. Grand Cayman is famous for their 7 Mile Island. 7 Mile Beach, sorry. And we went to a spot in which you pay $2 for the entrance fee and $12 for a lawn chair. And it's at the Royal Palm Resorts. And anytime there's an area where that involves a resort, you best believe it's gonna cost. I didn't get any food because I wanted conch fritters, which was $13 in Cayman dollars. But with the US dollar being a little bit less, you would have to add $1.25 to every dollar of the food. So I was not gonna pay over $20 for some conch fritters. That is an appetizer. So I didn't get nothing there. And me and my friend shared a lounge chair. I let my feet get wet. I had on my bathing suit, but I didn't get actual wet. Had one of my nice little sundresses as a cover up. It was all good. Getting back to the ship. First of all, it was a long line. And second of all was I got sick again. When I got off the tender onto the ship. And I walked up the stairs and I was fine. and I got off and while I was getting off, and as I was walking up the plank and everything, I happened to briefly look down in the water. When you're afraid of heights, that's the last thing you want to do is to look down into the water on something as narrow as a plank. Because I got dizzy, and I had to put my head down after I went through security check. I had to put my head down. And my friend was like, I asked you if you wanted the ginger gun because she does get seasick, motion sickness. And I said, I thought I didn't need it. And so one guy was being comical, but he was sincere. I must say he was sincere in that. I won't say that he was being comical. He said, well, you could lean on me and I could take you back to your cabin and the whole 9 yards. And I was like, no, I'll be okay. And I was. After I gathered myself for a couple of minutes, I was good to go. So, I forgot to show you one little thing. While in Montego Bay, I bought this little booger. I knew there was a reason. I bought my youngest nephew. I bought my youngest nephew a Morocco in Grand Cayman, and I bought myself a little coin purse. And that was about all and I bought a bunch of keychains and magnets in Jamaica. So, and see if I have anything that. I bought 2 shirts and something else. I would know. From yeah, I do have it. Just one moment. Let me reach into this bag. Ooh, what's my driver's license doing in here? That's a no-no. Oh, and I drove yesterday without my driver's license. Dang. Anyway. Where is it? Where did I put it? This keychain from Cozumel. See, it says Cozumel, Mexico. Just one moment. Had to answer that phone, okay? Actually, I didn't. It was a wrong number. So, anyway, I'm back to the souvenirs. This. We didn't venture very far from the boat in Cozumel. So, I cannot tell you about any of the excursions or anything like that. Basically, because I was not interested. They looked like they cost too much. And both of us was on a budget. Excuse me. And, yeah, and we thought we did our fill. So we just walked around a little bit and we got our little souvenirs. And that was about it. Last night, which was at sea, is there was nothing much to write about except for we walked around. I did get my sushi. I did not die, so for those of you who thought, oh, I wouldn't eat sushi on the sea, take your precautions. But I did pretty good with the 5 pieces that I ate, which was 2 rolls and a couple of the little nigiri, which is the rice and the fish over the rice and that sort of thing. I did pretty good. So, I did not try Guy's Burgers, which is one of the signature restaurants, and I didn't try none of the other restaurants either. I'll save that for next time. As far as what else do shows, Motor City was okay. Some of the shows that you hear about, Carnival did a lot of cutbacks, and I did not care too much about the show that I saw. So that was that. Punchline. They do have two shows. Each comedian's allowed to do two shows. One that's a little bit PG or family friendly, that sort of thing, and one that is a little risque and adult like. We saw the a black guy, and I forgot what his name was. He was not that memorable because he basically talked about being the only black guy in Connecticut, and then he spoke on somebody's sexual problems as well. And the one that kind of turned me off was when he started talking about his date, which was a plus size woman. And I don't know, I must be getting older and everything and less tolerable about when comedians start talking about particular gender or race or even makeup. I guess you want to say plus sizes and makeup. Bigness, smallness, that sort of thing. If you're going to talk about those issues, talk about yourself and how you're dealing with it in a comedic way, not somebody else's, because somebody is a little sensitive with that. And well, that's it about my ventures over the 7 seas. I wish it was 7 seas. I'd still be on this cruise ship instead of dealing with this cold weather. But it is what it is. Like I said before, I have fun. Oh, let me talk to you about the day after when we disembarked. I had breakfast. I said goodbye to my friend because she was going to stay a few days in Louisiana with some relatives. And so we did part ways at that point. So to see her in May and that sort of thing. Maybe. And then getting off was really fun. I got another wheelchair, so they whisked me off and everything. It was fun. And I had a little problems because I was trying to tell the person who was carrying me, I was trying to tell them, hey, there's my party over there, the people that I came with. And no, they're going to push me over to another area so that I could get my bags. Well, that's all well and good, but excuse me, I don't want to lose the people that I came with. Because they were all couples and stuff like that, and I was just one single person, since the person whose cabin, the person who I stayed with, she was staying behind. So anyway, they finally got it and everything like that. Getting to the hotel, because we stayed overnight, was something of a mystery, but and we stayed at the Wyndham Gardens Hotel in New Orleans in on Baronne Street. And it's a nice hotel and everything. Next to last tip, which is don't leave in the middle of the night. They had one person there and a security person. And Wyndham Gardens, if you're watching this, if any of your people are watching this, let me tell you something. I was very, very appalled. And this is the only thing that really ticked me off about my whole trip. I have difficulty getting my suitcase. And I realized that. I understood that for a long time. Storing my suitcase was fine. It was great, wonderful. I understood that the room was not ready, that sort of thing. I have no issue with that. But when I was leaving and I called down to the front desk and I asked them, I said, can you send somebody up to get my suitcase, my luggage? And the person was like, well, I'm the only one at the desk and there's only a security guard, so nobody can't do that. Could you at least send a luggage rack or something? Anything? I mean, this was ridiculous. I had to drag my backpack, this bag, because it's now a purse and everything, this bag, and my luggage down to the first floor. I was on the 5th floor. And not one help. If it wasn't for two other people who helped me, who were not part of hotel staff, they were just a couple customers. If they hadn't helped me get it from the elevator to at least a couch and everything, then I would have been struggling trying to do that. And it is just really poor customer service at that and everything. I understand that you have limited staff, but hire a luggage person that can take care of this. A bellboy, or whatever they call them now. It's just ridiculous. And I'm sorry. That did not sit well with me. I will address, there's a couple things that I left off, such as your cabs, tipping people, that sort of thing. I will address that at another time because I'm going on 37 minutes, and coupled with the 5 to 10 minutes I have on the other video, I'm going to be doing some editing for quite a while. But anyway, that's the other than getting to the airport and being wheeled to the gate in the whole 9 yards, and finally getting to my parents' house before going home, it was smooth. My only issue again was the hotel, and when it comes down to leaving in the middle of the night, when you know that TSA and the airlines require you to be there at least 30 minutes ahead of time in case there are any weather changes, that sort of thing. And Columbus had an issue as well as Atlanta, so you never know. They may have canceled the flight, they may have delayed the flight, who knows, and everything. But that was but we had to leave around 3 o'clock, or at least around 3 o'clock, in order to catch our flight. If we had been driving, that would have been another issue. We probably would have stayed until daybreak. But it is what it is. So, with that being said, I will go ahead and sign off. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will catch you later. And hit the bell if you want to be notified when I post another video. So with that in mind, again, this is Patricia, and I will see you later.